Today I'm at Slide Ridge Honey in Utah, and I'm going to show you a story of two brother and sister, Carla and Martin, talking about how they are manufacturing honey and the best honey vinegar, as far as I know, in the world. Watch this out.
Beekeeping, I think, is as serious now as it has been the last 10,000 years. But I think that the ones that do a good job are the ones that keep a positive attitude, the ones that network with a lot of good beekeepers, the ones that really pay attention to the bottom line, to the resources that they do have, and try to improve upon that, is the secret. I think it boils down to a story I heard years ago. And we were out camping, and the scoutmaster says, you know what? I don't have to be the fastest runner. I just have to outrun you when the bear comes.
Yes.
And that's the way business is. You know, you may not have to be number one. You may not have to be the fastest runner. But as long as your percentages are good and you stay ahead of the pack or with the pack, you're going to do okay. And I think the main thing is that we're here to help those along that are here with us. And I think that's more important, to do business honestly and with integrity, and to help those that we can and move forward in life, because that's what we take with us. This is a comb, and we bring the combs in. We leave the bees out in the field, okay. And then the comb slides down in here. This machine turns on, and the blades vibrate, and that just takes barely the cappings off. And so then they come down here, the cappings fall into this area here, and then go back to the capping spinner back here where the little bit of honey is reclaimed, but that's where we claim a lot of the wax. So that wax is taken out, that's the cappings wax. It's the cleanest, purest wax that the bees make, and then that goes into skincare products. Hand balms, my niece makes all that. We worked it up for her, and she's taken it from there and added to it, and kind of like Burt's Bees products. There's chapstick, hand balms, and all kinds of neat products. So that's where the wax goes. The frames come out of here and into a centrifuge. And so the frames stand in here on their end like this, and then this spins, and the honey is thrown out and along the sides right here. Drains down and out of the ports right there into a sump. And then from there, it's pumped up across and back over here to a jacketed stainless steel milk tank where we can gently warm it. About 95 degrees is all the warmer it gets. And that's also the filtration system. So the wax floats to the top, and then there's a trap in there that traps anything heavy. And then the other end has a valve on it that we bottle out of. From there, the honey is either bottled as honey, such as pure raw honey, or it's made into vinegar.
What do you guys do marketing-wise with your products? What have you been doing?
They come to us and it's wonderful.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's how you want it.
Well, we did go to the San Francisco Fancy Food Show, and after the show, the San Francisco Chronicle did a newspaper article, news write-up, and there were 1,300 vendors, 80,000 products represented, and they listed their favorite top 10, and we made their top 10. They didn't list them in ranking, but just to be out of 80,000 products to make the top 10, wow. That's huge. And that was really fun. That was really fun. Right now we're looking for distributors, and so we're trying to find distributors to work with retailers. Harmon's has been a great retailer here in Utah. They're a local company also, but they're a huge company also. And they've given us a lot of time, and they put us on the shelf. They also do Utah's Own Days, and that's where we met you guys, you know, to promote local products, to let us into their store, you know, so that we don't have to stand in the rain, and also to help us along. I mean, there was a lot of people there, and they had to do the advertising, which cost money, to get people to come in to see our products. Matt Caputo has been indispensable. He's been a champion of local farm-to-table products. He's been a champion of not because they're local, but because they're good. He really, really, really is worth his weight in gold. And so that's a lot of marketing right there. Farmers markets are hugely important.
Do you participate?
We go to the farmers markets, but they're seasonal. So when we're at the farmers market, customers always ask, where are you going to go? And you know, they're always told, well, in this section, go to Tony Caputo's. You know, if you can't get it there, then go to Harmon's. And then that kind of builds up an off-season clientele that you can get your product on the shelf, and then the customers are asking for it because secondary customers are very important. Repeat business. We're getting outside of Utah, milepost 65 in Washington. We just shipped them a pallet a week and a half ago. And so that's 100 cases. That's a huge shipment when you start shipping by the pallet. And so, but we're getting out there. We just released this in June of last year. The vinegar.
Oh, really?
And so it hasn't been on the market 12 months yet. It's still in its infancy. We produce about 48 gallons a day. And so our production is coming up. But when you start it, my first week I produced a quart. That was pretty good. I produced a quart of vinegar a week. But then from there, then sales come up, and then you need to double production, and I need 2 quarts a week. And then from there you've got to go to 5 gallons a week. And then, so each time you increase production, then sales go up, and then production goes up and sales go up. So we hopefully, it'll keep growing like that, and we'll be able to pull it up by its bootstraps, so to speak, and stay ahead of it and up with sales and keep our production numbers up. So it's a challenge. It's a lot of fun. So to go through the vinegar process, we have clean totes. So what we do is we put honey and water and yeast in here.
Okay.
And then ferment that to wine. So that's mead, which is honey wine. And this is a tank of wine right here. This is a tank of vinegar right here. So what I do is I take about 7 gallons out to 14 gallons, depending on what we're running. And I put that in here. It circulates up through my reactors right here, these 3 stainless steel tanks. And that's where the reaction takes place. There's mother in there, or acidators, which eat alcohol. They eat the alcohol completely gone and give off acetic acid, which is vinegar. And so that happens in there, and then it drains back down into this tank, and then it circulates through several times a day. And then I end up with a tank of vinegar. There's only 3 of us in the world that I know of that make it. Honey is very diverse, meaning that a yeast does not like it. And so if you have the wrong yeast, you get off flavors, acetone, diesel fuel, gasoline. It's terrible. It took me 7 years to develop that vinegar.
The thing that's really amazing and almost shocking about it is the little kids love it. My grandkids, they're like, Grandma, our bottle's empty. And in fact, my granddaughter was at my house this weekend, and she had this humongous bowl of ice cream, and she had just like dumped a cup of vinegar on it. My sister's little guy, he wants his water bottle just full of vinegar.
Dalton, he was running around out here. He's about 4.
And he was up to the house the other day, and Grandma was out. And he was mad, so we gave him his water bottle and says, go down to the honey house, Martin's making vinegar, he'll fill it up for you. So he came down here and was mad at Martin because Martin wouldn't put it straight full of vinegar.
I put water in it with him. It makes a very refreshing drink, but he wanted it straight, and he wanted the whole bottle.
I never fix a water bottle. Like, this is my water bottle today. Come this way, Martin. And I never fix a water bottle I don't put vinegar in it. Vinegar is huge. It makes your body less acidic because you want your body to be more alkaline. That's why vegetables are so important and everything. Vinegar is huge for you medicinally, huge. It does really good things for diabetes, cholesterol, and stomach stuff. If you've got an upset stomach or indigestion, heartburn especially, leg cramps. I can tell when my husband's not drank enough vinegar and kept up on it because he's heading in to get vinegar before he goes to bed. Takes care of it just like that.
Wow. Tell me, as a business owner, some of the challenges you have faced.
Some of the challenges, we had a problem with our bees about 6 years ago, which came from greed. So greed is a hard business. I would have to say that's a challenge. You can't push the bees too hard because the bees are bees.
Right.
And if you push them too hard, they'll collapse. And your first option is to take care of your bees best. I guess the next one would be financial. Everybody has a financial challenge.
True.
I don't know anybody that has enough money to do all the things they want to do when they want to do it, but I would say that's kind of a challenge. And then the one everybody always complains about, the weather. I mean, how can that not be a challenge? But you know, challenges.
All this change with the weather, does it affect at all the bees, or?
Well, weather is, and bees are part of the world, you know, that we live in. It's agriculture, and you have to adjust to it, and you do the best you can, and hopefully next year is good also. You know, I look at business and competition probably most different than anybody else. When people come over and want to know how, I show them right to the bare knuckles, right to the bare bones, the nuts and bolts of how to do it. They have the same opportunity, and I don't consider people to be in competition. Right. When people want to learn how to keep bees, you know what? I take them out in the field, we go through hives, they read books, and I'll teach them how to keep bees as best I know how. That may not be enough for them. But, you know, I don't think that competition, just because they produce honey, that they're in competition with me. You know, they've got you know, there's so many different ways.
And there's room for everybody.
And there's room for everybody. And I think a lot of people spend so much time thinking that the world's in competition with them, that they spend so much time trying to fight that they lose sight of their own business, and they don't grow their own business. Why everybody else goes ahead, then, you know, it's fascinating. It really does, on the wasted energy and the wasted resources, the wasted time spent thinking that you're in competition with somebody, because you're really not. You're really, really, really not. You know, there was a lot of people that came to me when we first started this and says, oh, you don't want to do a family business. No, you don't want to do a family business, and all these horror stories.
Yes, exactly.
It's like having a baby. Everybody has to tell you how bad the babies are. Yeah. Everybody's had a baby, but they want to tell you how, their horror story. Mars Candy Bar is a family business. Firestone is a family business. The one that's going to give you goosebumps is the Huntsman's. Run a family business. The largest corporation in the United States, just finished John's book, is a family business. So why wouldn't you want a family business? Family businesses are the dynamics that actually make a business succeed. Because first you check your ego at the door, and everybody can throw in an idea. In our family business, both of my sisters, my mom and dad, my two brothers, all have the same input. Somebody will come up with an idea, we'll roll it around the table for more ideas, and when we come out of that meeting, we have a plan. We have an idea that is, you can't outthink them. You can't outthink a think tank.
And it's your daughter that manufactures the beauty products?
Yeah, my daughter. She's a home mom, a stay-at-home mom, and she's got 2 kids in elementary school, and so she just does it at her home, and actually does most of it over the internet. Okay. And people just pull up her little...
Is she happy with the results online?
Oh yeah, she's doing as much business as she wants to do, and so people just go online to our website and can link into hers or go straight into hers. Be Simple.
Okay, it's Be Simple.
Yeah, B like bees, BEE, and then simple like SIMPLE.com.
With my sister and I think this is our 9th year in commercial beekeeping as a family business. Okay. I had my first beehives when I was 9 years old, and so it's always been a fascination. It's just fun, and so that's.
And how good is the honey business?
Very good, very good. The honey business. You know, the first thing is to have fun. I get to spend a lot of time with my sisters. I get to spend time with my mom and dad. It's a lifestyle. I like to say it's a lifestyle millionaires couldn't afford to live.
Tell me why.
So, well, I have all the freedom and that they don't have, and I have all the freedoms that most people don't have. I get to do what I want. We run our own business. Family comes first. We get to take care of our families and be with our families when we need to, and that way, who has a better life?